What movie was the most hated on movie this year, would you say?
Strange World.
Definitely. And do you think it deserves it?
No.
Yell. It's 10 seconds. It's
We're
10
here
seconds.
to bring our reviews of Strange World because it's finally released on Disney Plus. A better late than never, if you would.
True.
You
That's
know,
true.
We can officially dub it.
It got buried
you know.
into a bunch of things that were
It
coming
did.
out.
Also, it got buried under a lot of things, including people shitting all over the movie.
Yeah.
For unknown reasons.
Let's get into that.
Yeah, we're gonna debunk those reasons on today's episode.
I remember
Better
when
late
it
than
came
never.
out, there was
Yeah.
theaters in like Kansas and places like that had signs up that said, warning, there is like, what is it, like a gay kissing scene or whatever.
It's the same thing with Lightyear.
The same thing, like
yeah, there's two chicks who like exchange a what I think it's just like even a kiss on the cheek.
it's so
in Lightyear.
dumb,
It's
yeah.
so
And this is like,
insignificant.
he's got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like Jake Gyllenhaal is like married to
He's a ginger
woman of
dude
color.
who's married to a woman of color,
Right.
and then they have a gay child.
Yeah, who's also
do you know how
of
many
color.
boxes that checks for the people on the far right
Yeah.
to not like the
to
movie?
not like the movie. Yeah, so we know why people don't like the movie, but maybe there's something to the movie that people don't.
I'm still
actually
trying to
like.
figure out. That has
You
to
know
be
what
a
I mean?
majority of the hate, though.
There
because
has to be. Is there anything specific to the movie that
yeah,
people
spoilers
don't
obviously. Let me ask you a question. Did you think within a point differential was it any different than Raya?
Like? No.
Within, you know what I mean, ballpark.
It was better than Raya.
But do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't think it was any different. I think it was better. Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
felt like a Disney movie for the last 10 years that they've
Very
made.
by the numbers. This is what I said off air, but they have 6 scripts. Or they have 1 script.
They
that
just
they
keep-
stretched out into 6 different movies. Yeah.
It has a very, like, they're in a valley because of a miracle, Encanto.
Encanto.
The plants are dying that they live from, which is the force of the earth, and it's turning black into ash, Moana.
But this was like what Encanto like kind of should have been. It's like, oh, what's outside
Without the songs.
hills?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, is kind of what Encanto was set
Well, this
up to
was what
be.
the Moana
Yeah.
of it kind of was. Like,
Yeah.
But they were comfortable never leaving, while Moana was
They
like,
split
we got
Moana
to
into 2.
explore.
And half of it went to Encanto, and the other fucking half went to.
Yeah,
They
it's a
go.
Strange World.
Strange World is. I'll give the most basic plot synopsis
Okay.
ever. Is
Okay.
a boy and his father are explorers. The kid doesn't want to be an explorer, and on an expedition he finds a magical thing that has electricity, and he discovers it and brings it back while his dad goes off and continues
Disappears.
the expedition and disappears
For
for 25
years, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So electricity is made basically because of this plant that we call Pando for some reason. I don't know.
It felt very Avatar-ish.
Pander?
Like they,
Yeah, is it
they
pandering
were
to
running
the
out of
audiences? Yeah.
ideas. Right next to unobtainium.
So they grow these plants which give them electricity. So 25 years pass and they have all this utopian society steampunk stuff. And
Which
my
is
first
cool.
problem is they didn't show enough of like the town
Grow it prior.
to the Pando.
It was just like, we found this, now we're smart.
Now we're cool. Yeah. And it's like, isn't this place cool? I'm like, yeah, well, it would be if I saw what it looked like pre-Pando. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that, I got you.
I don't care, but it's just like, even if they didn't even show like a scene, I don't think, of like the original
But I think the
town,
reason is
you
that
know?
because of the end when they give you the
Yeah.
the
Because
Moana
they all
ending
have to get back to
for
normal. So the premise is Pando's going away because I guess they're using too much of it.
that's what they think.
And it's like, actually, like, it's not a plant that the planet grows, it's actually like a weed that grows on the planet and actually is hurting it. So spoilers, turns out the thing they're on that they live in, this Encanto, is on the back of a giant turtle that swims on the back of
The end was a
Earth.
little weird. It got very weird.
And the whole
But-
movie is, we gotta save our plant.
They
so we can
gave,
get
but they gave you the
electricity back.
the Fantastic Voyage.
So it's literally the setup of Moana that it's like, plants are dying,
We have to save.
we have to do
We have
something.
to figure out why.
Right, why?
Because of the heart, like of Tafiti.
I know.
But it was the heart of this thing is dying. and
It's
they
a
have
little
to save
different
the heart.
though, because
Slightly.
it's like, this is their mission. Everybody's on board, it's like, we have to do this. You know
Instead
what
of
I
one
mean?
person doing
instead
it.
Instead of
Well,
one
and
person.
then becoming 2 people,
and
right.
everybody being against her going to do said thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Raya and Strange World are Moana, but they're like not like surface level, yes.
It's still the
But
overall same
it's-
premise.
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
got to get
yeah.
a thing to
Yeah.
save the heart of the thing to bring everyone together and save the thing.
and save the day.
It's like MacGuffin. We got to get this MacGuffin to fix this other MacGuffin.
But it's always like darkness.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the bad guy in Moana? Bad.
Well, that's when they stopped doing bad
evil.
guys. They don't really do bad guys anymore. Even this, it was like
There's bad guys
misunderstanding.
in Strange Things, Strange World,
Kind of.
Stranger
But
Things.
once she's shown what's really happening, she
Well, not
immediately
even,
is okay.
Like the whatever blob tentacle fucking monsters. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, but that's just
whatever
like
the fuck they are.
white blood
They're
cells,
like
basically.
antagonists. Yeah.
I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
you're battling. I don't know.
So
Osmosis Jones did it better 20 years ago.
yeah, exactly. I thought this movie, it looks great. I think the characters are fun. Jake Gyllenhaal absolutely kills
It's
it.
the normal
in
premise
voice
of the
acting.
don't want to be like the dad becoming the dad anyway, and the son doesn't want to be like you. I realized my mistake. Let's be a family. It's like it was. Was it like the worst Disney movie ever made? No. Oh my
No.
God, no. I could go on for a long time.
No, but there
listing.
are the tropes between like the grandpa, like the dad of the main kid in the movie, Jake Gyllenhaal, is the
He's trying
dad.
to be completely different from his.
He's trying
dad.
to be completely different from his
Well, his
dad
son's trying to be completely different from him.
by becoming his grandfather.
But yeah,
Right.
So it's like
Which is something that the dad doesn't want.
but that's normal.
But by the end of the movie, they're all hunky dory.
See,
and
I think the
everything's
main
fine,
problem
so-
is kids and younger people don't like animated sci-fi.
no.
Titan AE is one of my favorite movies of all time. Super flop.
How do you
Treasure
think-
Planet, Atlantis.
Yeah. Those are great movies.
Clone
All
Wars.
great movies. Yeah. All fantastic
People
movies.
don't like
No.
that
No.
stuff. I can't explain why.
I do. I thought they were gonna like go to space, and like it was a different
It was
planet or
weird.
some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But it's like they go underground,
Into a living thing,
In
though,
an
and
airship.
it makes sense.
but
They
it's
totally,
not the planet that's the living thing. It's a living thing that's swimming on a planet made of water. Why didn't they just go inside of a living planet?
The whole thing is weird.
Why did it have to be?
But when they come out, they almost like imply that it is part of it. It's so weird.
But they pan out at
I
the
know,
end,
but
and
then
it's
it's
the
just a
turtle
turtle.
swimming on the ball of water.
It's like,
It might as well have been a dude's like turtle in a fish tank.
yeah.
Then
The
Like,
end got
you
a little
know?
too introspective-y.
Yeah,
I think,
like
was the
what
main
message? What are you trying to prove? Like they at the end they come face to face with basically their god. You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
you're
In a
right.
Disney movie, you know.
It's almost kind of implied though that they got there. The reason I feel like they don't show you this stuff is almost like maybe they crash landed, like a Buzz Lightyear situation, like same plot. Like they ended up on this planet thing, and but that's too much. They already don't have time because they built too much of a.
Like what's outside the mountains? Nothing.
Don't worry about
because you are on a living thing that is on a
A
planet
planet
with no
with
other
nothing
living
else.
things.
So have fun.
How does that thing survive? What does giant turtle eat?
Thinking about it. Okay, shut up.
What would you give
I
Strange World,
enjoy.
yeah.
I thought the voice acting was great.
brilliant
Your
animation?
future
brilliant.
wife is my favorite outside of Stranger. I was gonna say for Puss in Boots. Like,
Is
the
she in
best.
this?
No, I was gonna say
Oh.
is the best thing. Like,
I was gonna say.
like outside of Strange World, like Strange World was such a good. Never mind. I'll get into the specific thing later. But
Is that,
I was gonna try to do a comparison, but
there is none. You can't compare them. That's why you had such a problem. Because Puss in Boots is so good.
I did
and
see Strange World
World's so
first, though.
bad.
That would have been the wrong order. I would say I give it like a.
Oh, you would have
6,
hated
7.
Strange World if you watched Puss in Boots.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give it like a 6-7. I liked it better than Raya.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
Um,
gonna put it right at what probably I gave Batman, which is like a 6-8.
Yeah,
You know.
it
Yeah.
wasn't like a 5 or
No.
a terrible
Low
the
7s,
worst.
high 6s. Yeah, absolutely.
It was a fun romp. The
I'll
voice
watch it
acting was
again.
good. The animation was good.
You know.
The story was paint by numbers, but you know what you're getting.
Yeah. Yeah, the animation was fun. I liked all the color contrasts of like the harsh greens and like
Mhm.
all the pinks and like all that shit.
I
looked
like
really
that we
cool.
didn't have to have a classic, like someone die to move the story into an emotional.
Like the grandpa dies.
You know what I
or
mean?
some
Like they're
shit.
gonna
I
kill
don't
off the little
care.
pet or the grandpa, and they finally didn't because it's like
Well, they
so
also have a
tropey.
three-legged dog. We didn't say. So they have ginger, colored wife, gay kid of color,
Handicapped
a
animal.
handicapped animal.
Man.
Yeah, we're hitting all the fucking bases
Things that
here,
just don't
dog.
like, yeah.
And it's like the movie isn't any different for that. you know, yeah, they do
That's
like
the thing that people
allude to the
need to-
shit of the kid,
But they
like
need to understand that that stuff exists in real life, and it's just people acknowledging that in a story.
in a story. Yeah, it doesn't
It doesn't pretend
necessarily
it doesn't
serve a
exist.
purpose for
no,
the
but
story.
it's also just like
The kid could have been straight, and he could have had a crush on
a girl.
A girl,
And it
right?
wouldn't have changed
and it
the
wouldn't have been no
story.
different.
Right.
And it's not like when he's talking to the grandpa about like, oh yeah, I got a, and his name's blah
the
blah
grandpa
blah.
just is like, well, here's how you need to impress
Here's
him.
how you do
I
it. He's not like,
appreciate it.
what the fuck?
Man. And that's probably why people on the right were super pissed. Like, why isn't Grandpa, who's like clearly a hillbilly,
Right.
mad about this?
Right. No, because that's not the point of the movie.
The grandpa loves his grandkids.
Right.
He doesn't
That's
care.
not the point of the movie
Right.
either. Yeah. Also, the fucking grandpa doesn't know what any of that is and doesn't know the stereotypes behind
he
it
doesn't
because
care.
he's
He's
been
been gone
underground
for
for 20
30
years.
years.
Yeah. So, fuck. Yeah. No, that's super cool that they like.
Yeah, it actually.
They don't even have to acknowledge
My
it.
kids
really.
loved it. And my daughter, who's 16, thinks like it was the most like inclusive, you know, because she's all raw that stuff. And she's
Yeah.
like, this was great. They acknowledged it, but they didn't poop on it. They didn't make a big deal about it. It
No.
just kind of existed.
No.
And I think that's what pissed off people for the wrong.
So pissed off a
You
lot.
can't
of
go
people.
into watching
Yeah.
a kids movie and picking it apart for those reasons.
Yeah.
It's not made to go, oh, it's gonna make kids gay. No, that's not what they're saying. They're saying, look, Grandpa and Dad supported the kid even if he is gay.
Yep.
That's the story. That's
Yep.
the message you should take,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
every
They're
other
just supporting
negative
his
one.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a family. We're a family no matter what. Was kind of the message.
The kid
behind
wants
the
to play
movie.
the card game that they ripped off straight out of fucking Onward. You know what I mean?
You can
And
do that though. It's in universe.
but it's not. It's Pixar.
But kind of. But they share.
No.
They're multiverse sharing.
Mm,
Different video
no.
for a different time.
Yeah. And if you do that, then call it the same thing. You know what I'm fucking saying? Then
We're
like
headed
set it in the
towards that.
fucking world. I hated that.
What do you give it?
6-8 probably.
6-8,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I would probably put it high sixes. Yeah. I hate it. My biggest problem is you probably noticed this too. But every time there's like and the basic example is when Gyllenhaal meets the dad for the first time again.
Okay.
It's like, what, dad? And he's like, dad. You know, hard cut. You know.
Oh, they threw a lot
And
of
then it's another like
George Lucas
2 minutes, 3 minutes
hard cut
side
swipe-
wipes. Is that what it
swipes.
was?
It
Like
was-
a sci-fi
they
something?
they
okay.
did some tribute
Because
to
every time
Lucas.
they go like,
Yeah.
this big thing is happening, and what? Hard cut.
Star Wars.
Yeah. What? Hard cut.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it was New Hope.
It did.
It was New Hope
Okay,
cuts with
yeah.
swipes. I think that was in tribute to
Okay,
George Lucas.
okay.
Honestly,
It makes
I
a
got
lot
that
more sense. If
immediately.
you tell me that, I'm 100% on board.
But it was like,
now, did they
like,
think about that?
I think
when
they did.
Okay.
Because
All
those
right.
scenes is almost like Luke. You know, like when there's like, and then it's like hard cut to a completely
Star-
different
Star
scene. Now they're
Wipe.
on a base
Yeah.
somewhere else or a ship. That's what I invoked that for me, which I thought was clever. I'm like, man, they did. They went hardcore sci-fi.
Yeah.
People don't like hardcore sci-fi.
No, I specifically hated that about the fucking movie.
See,
all
but
the
now
hard cuts.
you rewatched it with
Now I'm gonna be
doing a
like-
tribute to George Lucas. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
No,
I
this
see.
is pretty
Because
fun.
it is like one of them is the exact
What
one.
about? No. He's like on the speeder or whatever.
And they do like the
Yeah,
exact
yes.
sides. No, I was like, that's literally pulled from. Which
Okay.
I get. They did it because
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. They're like on a planet. That's why I think it's implied that this was like a grounding in a bigger universe. That if this movie would have been successful, they could have been
Yeah.
able to go to different planets and do different things. But
This movie should have been
that's-
done by Pixar, and it would have been amazing.
swiping,
yeah,
little switch
it would have been
around.
amazing because it gave me a lot of Soul vibes.
I enjoy. Okay,
You know,
I enjoyed it more
like-
than Lightyear.
Yeah, oh
I think
my-
Lightyear looked better
Oh my
overall,
God.
animation wise.
Did we ever do Lightyear? Did we ever
Yeah.
give scores for
I think we
Lightyear?
did.
Yeah, I'd put Lightyear. If we didn't, I'd put that in fives, like high
I think
fives.
that's what we did. I think
yeah,
it was low
low
sixes.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
looked really good, and
Yeah.
Chris Evans and the cat killed it, but the story was like didn't make sense to exist. There was
It
nothing.
was not there. No. Nope.
So I
Yeah.
mean, this was better than Lightyear, and it will not be. We're getting ready this coming week for our CTSs where we
Yeah.
review the year because I know the Oscars are in February, so we're gonna squeeze it there in the middle.
Yeah, Puss in Boots came in right at the end there, and I still have to go see that, but I think
Yeah,
it
a
will
little
be,
tease for that next Puss in Boots. We'll get together for our nominees and do a little votes.
Best
I think.
animated.
Man, it runs with Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I
It
was gonna
starts
say-
with a catchy song that comes back and hits you throughout the movie, like Bob's Burgers, and you're like, in the fight scene at the beginning to the catchy song it's almost the best part of the entire movie. It starts so strong and just goes.
I might go see it after this.
It's so good. I got goosebumps. It's so good of a movie. It's so good. I
Yeah.
can't believe how good. So that's just a tease for that. We'll get into that. But yeah. So Strange World, not as bad as you think.
Better late than never. Catch us next week. We'll be back with Better Late Than Never of maybe some other movie we've neglected, like Black Adam.
We have to
perhaps.
finally do our. That's true. We also have to do our Phase 4 wrap up and rankings now and update our Marvel rankings.
You still haven't
This
seen Black
weekend.
Panther. Wow. Yeah.
That drops February 1st on Disney Plus.
Okay. Cool.
So-
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Cut.
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. February 1st, huh? Not because Black History Month.
That's
or
why they're
anything.
doing it.
Yeah.
Well, it leaked that they were going to release it